Good morning, everyone. I wanted to briefly go over many of the trade setups that occurred yesterday. There were many opportunities, no matter what your trading style is, whether you're very conservative or very aggressive. So let me just get started right now. So I'm going to get started with the NQ. This is yesterday, the 22nd. And right here we got the 5-minute opening range trigger. And so we took that, and our first target was down in this area here. If you didn't take that, the opening range does require a larger stop in most instances. If you didn't take that, then we got a 3 amigo right here. And on the NQ, that's the only instrument that I'll take a 3 amigo in an area of the previous day's high, low, or close, or 50%. And so that set up right here at 940 into the previous day's low. Worked out fine. Here we get another amigo at 10 o'clock. Now that's right around news. Obviously it works out, but I don't trade around the news, so that would be one that I would sit out on. Also, if you're a little more aggressive, you could have shorted every time you came up here to the previous day's close and it held. You could time it with your stochastic. You could watch for divergence. If it fits your style, you could trade that way in those areas as well. But just as you get closer to news, you'd want to be a little more cautious. Here we get a counter channel setup. This is into the 5-minute low and also the 50% retracement area, so I'm not interested in that. Here we actually get a counter channel setup, but I did not take that. I'll show you what I did take. I took this slinky setup on the Renko chart, and that does require an initial bigger stop as well. And if you manage this differently than I did, unfortunately, you could have stayed in this trade all the way down until here at about 11:20. You could have rode that all the way down from, let's see, from 41.75 all the way down here. If you use the trail dots, you would have been stopped out. Let's see, what was that? 71. It was actually 71.75 would have been your entry, and you would have been stopped out down here at 46.75. So huge trade. You could definitely ride it when you have a nice trend like that. What I did was I took 3 as my first target, and then I think I wound up with 5.5 on my second target. I put my stop just above this area here, and then as it bounced, I got stopped out on my remaining contracts. But you could see how you could have definitely ridden that all the way down. So that's why I didn't take this Keltner, because I was already in with the Renko. The other next opportunity would have been you could take a pullback here if you wanted to, or you could have taken a Chico line breakdown actually here or here, and I'll show you that on the other chart. Okay, so on this chart here, Chico line breakdown here, you can see we create this area of support from back here. It holds here as well. So once you get the Chico line breaking down through that line, this is where the Chico line would be forming at the time. Keep in mind this is forming 26 periods behind price. So once it breaks through, this would be your entry bar right there. Your stop holds. You never get stopped out. And if you didn't take that, then you take this Chico line breakdown here, which is, this is the one that we took here at 1024. Then, not really a whole lot to do here. You're either in this trade from 1024 and managing it, and that also presented more than our first target as well. Here we actually took a counter channel short, and right as we got in, we got a tick extreme. So on the retracement, we got stopped out. If you're not familiar with the tick extremes, when you get one of a reading of like plus 800, plus 1,000, minus 800, minus 1,000, when you have a neutral tick and then all of a sudden you get that extreme, very often it will retrace. And so typically what we'll do is if we have our order getting ready to place an order, let's say for a short, and we get a tick extreme of minus 800, minus 1,000, then we hold off. Unfortunately, place the order, then we got the tick extreme and it triggered, and then you just have to take the stop out. So the next opportunity was back here when we took this Keltner channel at 1051, and we got to ride that for a while as well. Next opportunity, you could take a pullback if you like. I'm not really interested in that at this stage of the game because we've been consolidating here in this area. So we get another counter channel set up right in this area. I'm okay with that. You could take that. Works out for a quick target. Here I'm not looking to do anything on the retracement back up to this area of resistance at 51.25, but if you're more aggressive, you could have done that as well. So let's move over to the Russell real quick, and I'll show you some of the setups on that from yesterday. So on the Russell, you get a counter channel set up right here at 9:33, a little too early for me. Here you get a Chico line breakdown right here. Draw the area of support right under that 5-minute low area. Chico line breaks through the white line back here. This would be your entry bar. And I was in something on the NQ, so I couldn't take that. Then the next opportunity, I mean, you could be trading these pullbacks. Every time it pulls back, you could be taking those. Whenever you have a strong trend, that's the way to get in a moving market. Here at 10:06, we had news at 10. You can see this area of resistance forming here. So you could be looking for a trade once price breaks through that. So here we get the counter channel setup, or you could take a Chico line breakout on that same exact bar. You would be looking at the area, that 5-minute low, as the area above your head where you might be getting stuck. Also the 50% is there. And so you just keep in mind, okay, if I get stuck there, I'm going to have a smaller target, but you have no problem breaking through there. Next opportunity would be here at 10:15. You get a counter channel set up here short, and you would be looking at this general area here where it last held. So you'd have to decide, okay, do I want to take that, or do you want to wait until it breaks through that area? If you want to wait for it to break through that area, you could take a Chico line breakdown in the opposite direction of this last one that was taken here, and this would be your entry bar right there at 10:16. So a little different entry, but at that point you break through support, and then once you're able to trade through this area where I drew this white line, your next area of support would be at this 28.03 where the floor trader pivot S1 line is, and you could manage it and stay in the whole way down. Not likely during this chop that you would be able to likely sit on your hands and just let it ride out. So realistically, you'd look for another entry here. This one, not too thrilled about. This is at 10:25. You get the counter channel set up right in the area of support. I would be looking for something under this white line where price held back here. So I would be looking for something to break under there just to be safe. Or if you had enough room down to that area, you could certainly take it. So once under that area here, you get a Chico line breakdown at 10:27. Chico line breaks down here. You get closed under the white line here, and you have to sit through the wiggles here. You would never have been stopped out, and then it does go on to work out. The other option would be is you could always wait to get through and then wait for the next setup. Here would be a counter channel setup right there. And let's see what else. Pretty much you'd be looking at all the support here in this area here to your left. So you'd be looking for something under this area here. Also, keep in mind if the ADX is flatlining under your DMIs, good time to sit on your hands until it works itself out. And the ADX is this yellow and purple line. So I hope you found that helpful. And just a quick reminder, if you have any intention or interest in the order flow tools that Maria is offering, September 30th is the deadline to be grandfathered into the training room at no cost indefinitely. So you could always do any of your setups using order flow to confirm. I'm finding it very helpful.